Good morning, everyone. This is the TradingPub.com daily report, and we'll give you a second to read through this risk disclaimer and then go ahead and get started. I'd like to officially welcome everyone to October trading, which started last night in the Globex session. So the two markets that we're going to take a look at today are going to be the S&P futures, the E-mini S&P futures. We'll take a look at what they did overnight and look at some important numbers that the overnight market's alerting us to. And then also we'll take a look at the euro, which is a very important market to focus on. So again, the first thing that we're going to look at is going to be the S&P. And if you look at the S&P from Friday, you can see that we had this pretty much steady down move, and you see that a lot. We had that big short squeeze right up into the close. A lot of times if you see those short squeezes into the close, which obviously came after a very negative day, then you had the big short squeeze, and then a lot of times that's a good selling opportunity into the Globex session. So you saw how pretty much since then we've been on a pretty steady decline. Lower, if you were to draw a trend line, you could actually draw it right there and see that we came up and tested that trend line area right around the 1128 area if you go from the top down to the high from last night. So again, we'll have to keep an eye on that 2728 area, which also was the high of this bar here at 2850 and 2875. So again, back to the Globex. We closed Friday pretty much on the low, had a pretty negative last hour and a half of trading after some consolidation towards lunch, and then we sold off at the close. And if you notice, we opened the Globex around this 1120 to 22. We feel like 1120 to 22 is going to be a pretty good pivot area to use in the market. Some other numbers to use are going to be this 28 to 30 area, which, like we talked about, that little trend line, and also we had a high here at 28, high at 28, and then a test here at 27. So 27 to 28 is definitely going to be an important area to watch. Above that, we'll look at 1133, which you saw several lows in the 1133, 1134 area from Friday's trading. So that was important on Friday. It should be important again today. So again, to the upside, if we get back through 22 and 20, we'll look at 27, 28, and then the 33, 34 area. Right here is a big support area, and you can see even from the previous days you had 33.75 right there. To the downside, that's where it gets a little bit trickier because of the fact that we haven't been down to these areas in a while. You did see the market bounce off the 1111 area, which is a familiar area. So again, we saw the market bounce off of that. And notice the reversal right at the time that the European cash markets open. So again, extremely important to understand in the night market that when you have that turnover from Asia to Europe, there can be some pretty good reversals. And you saw that we had heavy selling into Europe, Europe opened, and then we started to trend higher. We came right up against that 27 level and have since come back down. So just to give you some numbers to the downside, if we break through 1116, which you saw there's pretty good support here at the 1716 area. If we break through this 1116 area, look for another test of the 1112, 1111. If you put in a new low, that's where it starts to get sticky and wonder where the support's going to come in. So we're going to look at 1107, 1102, and then below that start getting into the 10s, which will not be a pretty thing for the market. So we'll see what we do off the open. There is news at 9 o'clock today. So again, we've got ISM news at 9 o'clock and also construction spending, but market should definitely key off of that ISM number. All right, the next market, what we try to do, we go through the E-mini S&P every day, look at what happened in the overnight market, and then we try to look at a different market each day and kind of just give you a little bit of our thoughts on it. And if you look here, this is the euro, and it's really a sad picture up here from 145 down to the 133 area. And what I would use as a pretty good pivot here is this 135. Notice how many days here we had bounces at the 135 area. So again, use 135 as a pivot. I think as long as we're below that, then it's kind of in a situation where the bulls are in trouble. So you can use that 135 as an area. You've got a lot of retail traders trying to step in right now and pick a bottom. Our typical advice would be when you're in a market like this that's so driven by news and uncertainty to kind of step back and stay away. If you're going to trade the euro, you want to probably just look for very short-term trading opportunities or hedged option strategies. So again, those are the two things to look at, and always make sure you're managing your risk on a trade like that when there's opportunities of high news and high volatility. So we have currency options expiring this week. That'll be this Friday, along with the non-farm payroll report and a whole lot of news in several different countries. Tonight's a big news night for Australia. So again, more than likely we'll highlight some different currencies this week or other markets where we see opportunity. Hope you all have a great day, and also want to remind you of our next event that's coming up on Thursday, October the 6th, and you're welcome to join us for that event by going to tradingpub.com and clicking on Pub Events. So again, go to tradingpub.com, click on Pub Events. Hope you all have a great day.